Hi, my name is Professor Silver, and in today's class, we'll be breaking down the complete history of Professor Kukui's Incineroar, detailing all its battles, storylines, and character development. Incineroar has been Kukui's inseparable companion since its early days as a Litten. While the two were growing up on Melee Island, they befriended many Pokemon, got Fire EMZ from a Totem Trevenant, developed a love for battling, and became fascinated with Pokemon moves. When Ash and his Torracat traveled to the past in a timeless encounter, Kukui and Litten idolized them, as they thought Torracat's use of Inferno Overdrive nothing short of incredible. The performance so impressed Kukui that he dubbed Ash the Move Kahuna and challenged him to battle. Ash and Torracat initially went easy on Litten, but Kukui forced them to fight with all their strength as he had ample confidence in his pal's abilities and believed it to be the toughest fighter around. Unfortunately for Kukui, Torracat dashed his beliefs by swatting Ember, landing Flame Charge, and firing off Fire Blast. It saddened Kukui to lose, but Litten licked away his tears and helped him realize that there was little else they could do beyond train hard and get strong so that they'd never lose again. Once Kukui recovered from the loss, he and Litten palled around with Ash and Torracat, alleviated Trevenant's itch, saved a gang of cutie flies, and helped Ash earn a Fire EMZ of his own. Kukui intended to finish the day with another battle, but Celebi transported Ash to the present before they could fight or learn each other's real names. While Ash never realized the boy would grow up to be one of his greatest mentors, Kukui and Litten never forgot the experience and used it as motivation to reach new heights of power. Following Ash's departure, Kukui helped Litten evolve all the way into Incineroar, became a respected professor, and started competing at the Battle Royal Dome as the Masked Royal. Even though Incineroar beat so many opponents that the Masked Royal became the most famed man in all of Alola, Kukui chose to keep his alter ego and Incineroar's existence on his team a secret from all those he held dear. During Incineroar's on-screen debut and pushing the fiery envelope, it earned its 20th consecutive victory at the Battle Royal by decimating a Machamp, Decidueye, and Primarina. Ash's Litten got so charged up watching Incineroar battle that he attended the very next Battle Royal with Ash, ran on stage, and challenged the heel Pokemon to battle. The young Pokemon's tenacity impressed the Masked Royal, so he made the starstruck cat, Kiawe's Marowak, and Sophocles' Charjabug the night's first competitors. At the battle's start, Incineroar bounced away its opponents, deflected Shadow Bone, and used Darkest Lariat to clear the field of Marowak and Charjabug. Even though Litten barely survived the assault, he demanded Incineroar keep fighting and show its true power. Out of respect for Litten's passion and the kindness that Torracat showed it as a child, Incineroar started fighting seriously, bulked up, caught Fire Fang, and won with Throat Chop. Litten was sad to lose, but the match roused his battling instinct and inspired him to keep training. Because Masked Royal and Incineroar were kind mentors who wanted to see their students grow, they offered Ash and Litten additional training through a rematch only a few days later. During the battle, Incineroar repelled Fire Fang, blocked Ember, knocked Litten backwards, helped him master Flame Charge, and ushered in his evolution into Torracat. Torracat stopped Darkest Lariat, evaded Incineroar's advances, singed its arm, and let loose a speedy Flame Charge, but Incineroar's superior power won out with Throat Chop. Despite Torracat's loss, Masked Royal saw massive potential and declared him Incineroar's newest rival. Incineroar took to the position like a true champion and served as Torracat's source of inspiration through the rest of Sun and Moon. In a young royal flame ignites, Incineroar impressed Torracat and its other adoring fans during its battle with Mr. Electric's Electivire, but Mad Magmar's Magmortar disrupted the match before it concluded. Since Incineroar and Masked Royal wanted to keep battling with all their heart, they accepted the Madman's challenge for a title match with Magmortar the following night. Once the two started fighting, Magmortar ambushed Incineroar with its Revenger friends, so Torracat leapt to his idol's aid and offered his assistance. Before Torracat could do any real damage, a local proprietor named Byron revealed himself as the Revenger's benefactor and requested the one-on-one battle be made into a tag team match. The Masked Royal loved the idea, so he made Ash into his partner and commanded Incineroar to start off the battle using Cross Chop, Throat Chop, and a well-timed tag out. After Torracat got feinted by Magmortar and thrown into the corner, the Revenger's Poliwrath stopped him from attacking and held him in place, allowing Electivire to hit him with Wild Charge. Upon returning to the ring, Incineroar deflected Thunder Punch, unleashed Darkest Lariat, and tagged in Torracat, who defeated both Magmortar and Electivire with a volley of revenge attacks. Because Incineroar refused to be outshone, it then obliterated the rest of the Revengers, combined forces with Torracat to vanquish Byron's Pangoro, and ended the battle with an epic pose. Incineroar and Torracat ended the battle as allies, but Ash vowed Torracat would one day settle the score. As preparation for the eventual showdown, Incineroar one-shotted Gozu's Mega Aggron with Malicious Moonsault in securing the future, and beat up Magmortar in turning the other mask. When not training for its rematch with Torracat, Incineroar lived the life of a showman. While working a meet and greet, for example, it manhandled stuffed Pokemon, met its many fans, teamed up with the masked Baba, and saved the attendees from Mad Magmar. After Kukui unveiled the Alola League and the Dealer of Destruction, he and Incineroar announced in Chasing Memories Creating Dreams that they would battle the champion. The exhibition battle with Kukui presented the perfect opportunity for Incineroar and Torracat to see once and for all who was the strongest of the two. The fire types wanted to battle so badly that they opened the match opposite each other. Incineroar bulked up, repelled Flame Charge, narrowly missed Darkest Lariat, batted away Fire Fang, countered Flame Charge, tanked Fire Blast, and fired off Blast Burn. Rather than flee the flames, Torracat embraced the attack head-on and absorbed them into its bell. Since the flames dissipated before Torracat could launch a counter-offensive, Ash let Torracat rest and swapped him with Lycanroc. Lycanroc opened with Accelerock and Stone Edge, but Incineroar easily deflected the assault. Before Incineroar could land Throat Chop, however, Lycanroc made good on a bad situation, caught one of the stones, blocked the attack, and did major damage in retaliation. Incineroar suffered so much injury, Kukui returned it to its Pokeball and saved its strength until Ash summoned Melmetal in a full battle bounty. Having fully recovered from the previous bout, Incineroar tore through Flash Cannon, intercepted Double Iron Bash, locked hands with Melmetal, and triumphed with Blast Burn. After another quick rest, Incineroar then fought Ash's Torracat in fiery surprises. Torracat muscled through Darkest Lariat, but Incineroar responded with Throat Chop and Bulk Up. After withstanding Fire Blast and Flame Charge, Incineroar stopped Fire Fang and nearly seized victory with Throat Chop, but Torracat refused to quit and retaliated with Revenge. As both Pokemon neared defeat, they powered up their flames, exchanged Inferno Overdrive, and put all their energy into one last exchange of Throat Chop and Revenge. Following the collision of attacks, Incineroar wanted to keep fighting, but it succumbed to its injuries, leaving Torracat the victor. Despite losing the battle, Incineroar likely left the arena filled with pride, knowing that its star pupil had exceeded its expectations and achieved a glorious evolution worthy of a champion's ace. And now for the battle record. Incineroar won against Machamp, Primarina, Decidueye, Kiawe's Alolan Marowak, Sophocles' Charjabug, Ash's Litten, Ash's Torracat, Poliwrath, Alolan Muck, Alolan Golem, Viren's Pangoro, Gozu's Mega Aggron, Mad Magmar's Magmortar, and Ash's Melmetal. It lost to Ash's Torracat and Ash's Incineroar. Over the course of the series, Incineroar used Ember, Bite, Scratch, Bulk Up, Darkest Lariat, Blast Burn, Cross Chop, Throat Chop, Brick Break, and the Z moves, Inferno Overdrive, and Malicious Moonsault. Incineroar's mentor-like rivalry with Torracat made it one of the series' best rivals. Not only did it produce some of Sun and Moon's best battles, but it also added emotional depth to Torracat's storyline and made its final act at the league all the more memorable. If Kukui and Incineroar ever battle Ash again, I can't wait to see what tricks they pull, as there's no guarantee Ash and his Incineroar will be able to match their incredible strength. And with that, class is adjourned. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you're never late, and for extra credit, like this video and let me know your thoughts on Kukui's Incineroar. I also want to extend my deepest thanks to the channel's first patrons. Thanks to their generous contributions, I'll be able to spend less time on other work and more time on getting us one step closer to Ash's Charizard and Ash's Greninja. If you'd like to watch videos early, vote on which characters I cover in the future, and have your name forever etched in the halls of Silver University, be sure to check out all the perks I offer on Patreon by clicking the first link in the description. Until next time, catch you later.